YouTube? How is y'all's day going? Today we have another 2024 NFL mock draft. This one is going to be a little bit more prediction based. Last one was more of what I would do if I was the GM. We also have 3 big trades. I'm going to be pumping out tons of content as much as I possibly can since we are getting close to the draft and I have finally scouted the players. So yeah, let's get straight into it. If you guys do enjoy, please hit the like and subscribe button. Let's get to 100 subscribers. That'd be great. Also, just want to point out that we are rocking the CJ Stroud's all-black jersey. It is clean as hell. He was my favorite prospect from last year. He's my QB1. Yeah, love what he's been able to do. Great person, great guy. Starting off at number 1, we have Caleb Williams. Not so much of a great guy. No, I'm playing. There's been some personality issues there. I'm not going to explain too much, but there's a lot of people who don't like him. And what I think is unfair is that they're taking away from the player who he actually is. He's a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal player. Like I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's like a taller Kyler Murray. He's got the arm talent of Patrick Mahomes. He's a extremely talented quarterback. I have no doubt that he is going to be a very good quarterback in the NFL. So moving on to Drake May. Yeah, obviously there's been a lot of arguments about, Jane Daniels fits better in Cliff Kingsbury systems like that. That's all bogus because to me, the quarterback is the system. Like, if you have a chance to get Patrick Mahomes, but he doesn't, I'm not saying Drake May is Patrick Mahomes. I'm just giving an example. If you have the chance to get Patrick Mahomes, you don't go, oh no, he doesn't fit my system. If you have a top-tier caliber quarterback, you draft the top-tier caliber quarterback, not the one that fits better. Now, if there are 2 that are very close in skill level, that's a little bit more understandable. To me, Drake May blows Jaden Daniels out of the water. I'm not a Jaden Daniels guy. He has a lot to improve on his passing. Is he an amazing scrambler? Absolutely. One of the best I've ever seen. Passing-wise, people overrate the hell out of him on his passing, and I've made several TikToks about it. But we will have Drake May going number 2 to the Commanders and Jaden Daniels going number 3 to the Patriots. Number 4, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Malik Nabers is my number 1 wide receiver. I have him over Marvin Harrison. However, I think Marvin Harrison is a much better fit when it comes to the Cardinals because Marvin Harrison kind of reminds me of a little bit of like a DeAndre Hopkins. Kyler Murray did his best when he was with DeAndre Hopkins. It just makes sense in my head. I think they should go Marvin Harrison. And then number 5, we have our first trade. And that is going to be the Vikings moving up for their future QB. Again, this is prediction. I would never, ever... I don't even want J.J. McCarthy in the first round. But... it's prediction based. So we're gonna have the Vikings trading pick 11, pick 23. They have 2 first round picks in this year's draft and a 2024 fourth also in this year's draft. Pick 108 for the Chargers, pick 5 and then pick 110. So the Chargers move up 2 spots in the 4th round, just a little something extra, and they get 2 first round picks as well. Move up 6 spots. Getting another first round pick is honestly a really good deal. I'm okay with this 100%. And if the Vikings are desperate enough and they really think that the Giants will take J.J. McCarthy, which I really doubt that the Giants do, then maybe this is something that they'll put up. But this is also very well worth it for the Chargers. They are a rebuilding team right now. They need some talent on the roster. Getting that extra first is a big deal. So we have that. And with number 5, they select J.J. McCarthy. Yeah, I'm not a big J.J. McCarthy guy either. He's shown flashes, and I've never been somebody that likes, you'll hear me say it throughout this video because there's a couple other guys that I don't agree that should be in the first round, but again, it's prediction based. I understand if there's a little bit of upside and you want to bank on that, but if the talent's not there, I just don't look at the, but what could be, or he could, because anybody could. A 5th round wide receiver named Stephon Diggs could. I mean, that playing that game doesn't make sense to me. There has to be enough talent there for me to go, this guy warrants a first round pick. JJ McCarthy does not warrant a first round pick. 2nd, I'd be much more comfortable with it. I think I think he has talent enough to where he could grow. He's still a very young quarterback. But anyways, Vikings move up to number 5 to get JJ McCarthy. 6, pretty self-explanatory. They grab Malik Nabers, one of the best route runners I've ever seen. Great speed. All well-rounded. All the way well-rounded. Yeah, he kind of reminds me like a little bit of like a stockier Antonio Brown. That's kind of like my take on who Malik Nabers is. Just like a very good route runner, very fast, like physical for his size. He's a great wide receiver. I absolutely love Malik Nabers. 7, Joe Alt to the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, Joe Alt is number one tackle, no doubt, and the Tennessee Titans above everything. They did such a good job this offseason. They acquired so much talent. They need offensive line desperately. Number 8, my Atlanta Falcons are selecting Leatu Latu. He's my number one edge, no doubt about it. A little bit old, a little bit of injury history. However, the talent is just there, dude. He's good in the run game. He's got quick hands, a great bag of pass rush moves, physical, powerful, dominant. And I want that on my team. And I do not know why Dallas Turner all of a sudden has just become the second coming of Von Miller or whatever, because people just have him wrapped, or he has people just wrapped around his finger with saying his name at 8. And honestly, Jared Verse and Leatu Latu are above him for me personally. Moving on to number 9. So we had the Chargers moving back to 11. The Bears sat at 9. We have our second trade. The Chargers trade back up, so they were at pick 11. They're going back to pick 9, and they trade a 2024 fourth, pick 105, and a 2024 sixth, pick 181. This works really well because the Chicago Bears, it works well. It works tremendous for both sides. If this is how the Chargers draft can shape up, let me just say, this is one of the best turnouts possible. This is such a phenomenal turnout for the Chargers. You move up, and you'll see who we're selecting, which you probably already saw. And then for the Bears, they lost so much draft capital. I think they only have like 4 picks in the entire draft. You get a 4th and a 6th. Get a later round pick, you get a middle round pick to fill out your roster a little bit better. And that is just perfect for both sides. And it makes a lot of sense for the Bears, especially since they have no glaring weaknesses. And that's something where they can move back a couple spots, gain some draft capital, and still get plenty of talent. And also it might be a little bit pricey just because it's 2 picks up to be trading a early 4th and a 6th round pick. However, with who's on the board, and you'll see who the Chargers select here, with who is on the board, Rome Odunze, it makes a lot of sense to me. I think that this is a perfectly well-rounded trade for both of them. The Chargers get their wide receiver 1 and a very lacking wide receiver room now because of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. I love this for the Chargers. I love this for the Bears. 10, Brock Bowers to the Jets. Not much changing there. I really think they should go Brock Bowers. Fill out that offense. Get Aaron Rodgers and the Jets on track to be a very, very talented team. They're stacked at edge. Right now, they've drafted edge a lot. The defensive line looks good. The corners are good. The safeties look all right. That's something that they can address later, not at pick 10. It's a good team. The offensive line's a little bit rough, though. But Brock Bowers, you get a beautiful blocking tight end for Breece Hall on the outside. And just an insane prospect. So 11, we got Dallas Turner. This is prediction. So I would much rather go Jared Verse there, but the Chicago Bears move back. I do think that Dallas Turner would complement very well on that on the edge there, because you have somebody that's very athletic and fast and good with his hands coming off the edge, and then you have someone like Montez Sweat who's just big and powerful. So you kind of get a good combination between those two coming off both sides. I love that. I think that's great for the Chicago Bears defense. 12, I'm sticking with the Broncos going Bo Nix. I really, truly think that's what's going to happen. Bo Nix is just, I love Bo Nix. I love Bo Nix. I don't know what he's done to garner so much hate, but he has. He's a phenomenal prospect. He gets shit on for no reason. Bo Nix, love the fit with the Broncos. They need a QB desperately. Maybe next mock draft I won't have them taking Bo Nix, but I really think they should take Bo Nix. 13, the Raiders have taken Olu Fashanu, which I think it's Fashanu. I think I just saw it because Bengal tweeted out he DM'd Olu and asked him what the pronunciation, and he responded. I love Bengal. Bengal's a great creator. Many of you guys who are watching this are probably football guys and know exactly what I'm talking about. But Olu Fashanu, I'm going to have to try to get myself to remember that. Huge dude. Lots of upside. Good, especially in the run. I think the Raiders will really like someone like him. They really need offensive line. I really want the Raiders to go offensive line over anything. Like if I'm the GM, they need to go offensive line. 14, we have our final trade. We have the Jags moving up to select Nate Wiggins, who's my number 1 corner. They are trading pick 17 and pick 96 to the Saints, who are lacking. They have lots of later round picks, but I think it's no second and no third. I could be wrong, but I think it's no second, no third. And they get a third here for a pick 14, move up 3 spots, and then a 2024 fifth, pick 150, and a 2025 fifth. So the Jags get a 1 later round pick and then a later round pick the next year, stack up a little bit. It makes sense to me. They get to move up and get a good corner, a very good corner in Nate Wiggins, who has the length. He ran in the 4.3s at the combine. I absolutely love Nate Wiggins. Fluid hips, extends to make plays. Honestly, a pretty solid tackler too. I really, really like Nate Wiggins. He's my number 1 corner. He blows all the ones out of the wall. I don't want to say Quinyon Mitchell's very close. Quinyon Mitchell's very talented. And that's why at number 15, we have Quinyon Mitchell going to the Colts. And I think the Colts, if Nate Wiggins is there, I think that no matter who's on the board, I think that they will take Nate Wiggins. He's just such a good fit for them. But you have to move on. Quinyon Mitchell tested very well. Very impressive tape. Only worry about him is he's a little bit weaker competition coming from Toledo, but he did face some good competition, so it's not terrible. 16, I'm going to stick with the Seattle Seahawks going Troy Fautanu. He is a tackle/guard combination. That offensive line has gone really weak. Again, just like the Raiders, I feel like the Seahawks really should only go offensive line. If they go edge rusher, that's not a bad pick. And I could see them doing that, especially with Mike McDonald coming in as their new head coach. He was the DC from the Ravens, so getting an edge rusher would not surprise me. But I think they should go offensive line because it is their biggest glaring weakness, in my opinion. Moving on, we have the Saints, which was that trade with the Jags, and I have them selecting A.D. Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell is my guy. I actually like him a lot. He's been one of my biggest risers, especially after the combine. He did a killer job. He's like a George Pickens, in my opinion. That's how I view him. He tested super well, ran in the 4.3s, go up and get it guy, can take it to the house, has all the traits of a wide receiver 1 that you'd want. So I really like A.D. Mitchell. The Saints are lacking talent in that wide receiver room as much as it doesn't seem like it. Michael Thomas is gone. Chris Olave cannot bear the entirety of that offense, and I think that getting some good wide receiver pieces for their future is very important. Go ahead and grab A.D. Mitchell. 18, I'm going to have the Bengals taking Talise Fuaga. I think that's a great pick. They got the guys on the offensive line. They got Trent Brown. That's just a patch for now. It's just a patch. So it's not something that's taken care of. And I like Fuaga's physicality a lot. And he's been a big riser this year. So I like that for the Bengals. 19, I have the Rams. This is a switch up. I want to give you guys something entertaining because there's a lot of mock drafts that look the same. So this is a switch up right here. Terrion Arnold falls all the way to 19, right? He's my CB3. Terrion Arnold falls all the way to 19. The Rams have Trey White from the Bills. Great talent. Has lost a lot of his foot. Is older. Okay. And then they have Darius Williams coming back with the Jags, and he did good. But that's also both just patches on that side. They've shown that they valued corner before. Terrion Arnold's still here. Big. I know Sean McVay is a big personality person. Terrion Arnold's got a great personality. I really think if he fell to this would be the exact pick. I think this would be the exact pick. I love Terrion Arnold for the Rams. Not much more to say. 20, Steelers need a wide receiver. Brian Thomas Jr. He is someone that's starting to get a little overrated in my opinion. I see him going pretty damn high, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I agree with that one. He's a very talented receiver. However, I think he's more of an upside receiver than people want to admit. His hands are solid, but in the film that I watched, I didn't get to see it showcase as much as people are saying. They're like, amazing hands. I don't know about amazing hands. There's been a couple of times where Jane Daniels threw a ball and he was able to come down with it on a jump ball or something like that, and that's impressive. But mostly this is somebody that I look at that you can slide in the slot. He can take it to the house. He's got good speed. He's a solid route runner. And so for that reason, I think that he just needs to fall a little bit later and I like this for the Steelers. I like it a lot. So Brian Thomas Jr., the Steelers give Russell Wilson a new weapon, or possibly Justin Fields. Who knows how that goes. The Dolphins, they lost big time with Christian Wilkins. I thought they should have just paid the man, but what do I know? Byron Murphy going there. Yeah, I do view Byron Murphy as a first round pick. It's just hard because I don't know how much I value defensive line unless they are just like Jalen Carter, and Byron Murphy is no Jalen Carter. He's very athletic. He does a great job disrupting the offense. It's just period. Run, he could improve a little bit on, but he's not terrible. I think I like Johnny Newton, Jerzon Newton, more for disrupting the run. But Byron Murphy, disruptor on the offense. You can even probably throw him at edge and he would do just fine. But obviously like him more as like a 3 tech. Or a nose tackle, but I think I like him more as like a 3 tech. But yeah, he's a disruptor. So Dolphins get Christian Wilkins replacement. 22, I did think about Cooper DeJean here, but I had him last mock draft. I also thought about how the Eagles would probably rather have a like solidified CB1 since Darius Slay and James Bradbury are kind of taking steps down. Kool-Aid McKinstry comes in. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory there. 23, the Chargers. I love this for the Chargers. They could use safety. They can definitely use corner. Oh my gosh, they can definitely use corner. It's like, this is a perfect fit. And they've had guys like this. They used to have Desmond King. This is kind of what Cooper DeJean kind of reminds me, because Desmond King's so multifaceted. He can play the slot. He could have played safety. He can play corner. And that's what I view Cooper DeJean as. He can play any position in the secondary. He is that athletic and that talented. And so I love that for the Chargers. This is such a good turnout. You have Rome Odunze and then you have Cooper DeJean. 24, I have the Cowboys going Graham Barton. Yeah, I thought about this. I was like, Graham Barton, he's a tackle, but he's going to be listed as guard. If he gets drafted, I'm 99% sure it's going to be guard. So if that's the case, I think that the Cowboys, the interior needs work. It does. There's like one guy, I think it's at the left guard right now, that I have no idea what his name, I've never even heard of him before. So you have that, and then if something goes on with Terrence Steele or Tyler Smith at left tackle or at right tackle, then you can slide Graham Barton over. And I really like that for the Cowboys, and I think they would like it too. So moving on from 24, we have 25. J.C. Latham falls right to the Packers' laps. I think this would be a great pick. They need offensive line really bad after David Bakhtiari. I feel bad for Jordan Love, especially after coming off of such a good year, because it's going to be rough from here on out with how that offensive line is looking. 26. This is just a dream come true. I when I was making this, I was like, how does he fall this far? But you know what? There's always surprises in the draft. That's the thing. Nobody can predict the draft. Nobody's ever even close to being right, really. I mean, sort of, but not really, because it's so unpredictable. There's trades, and there's, different teams have different, views and all that kind of stuff. So Jared Verse falls to 26. I think that would be insane for the Bucs. I hate that he's going to somebody in my division, but Jared Verse goes to the Bucs. They've been needing edge rusher for a while because Joe Tryon has not worked out. 27. Yeah, I thought I would change it up a little bit for the Cardinals. Jackson Powers Johnson falls to them. They could use a center. I think that it's like, what's his name? For a Holte or whatever, who was like a 6th or 7th round pick for the Patriots, is now their center. The Cardinals center. Jackson Powers Johnson would be a huge upgrade. Just literally make that offense much better. It would. Especially with how many good defensive players just flew off the board. I think that Jackson Powers Johnson would be a good selection. 28, this is where I feel like I'm going to lose some people. I'm perfectly fine with it. The Bills, they just traded Stephon Diggs. To me, Stephon Diggs is one of the best route runners in the NFL. He probably is the best route runner in the NFL if we're talking about just the technicality of it. He's very refined in how he runs his routes. That's how I look at Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey and Malik Neighbors are on a freaking planet of their own when it comes to route running. Ladd McConkey is a separation artist. He also ran in the 4.3s. That surprised me. I was not expecting that. I saw speed on tape, but I did not see that much speed. So that is very impressive. You get somebody with great speed. You get separation artist for Josh Allen to throw to. You have Curtis Samuel as a wide receiver too, and then Khalil Shakir in the slot. I think that that's heading in the right area, and then you use those other picks that you got from the trade to work on and getting another wide receiver. You also have someone like KJ Hamler, who I liked a lot from the slot for the Broncos, returning for this year, so that's good too. 29, this is somebody that I talk about where I don't see enough talent, but everybody talks about them being a first-round pick because of the upside. I do not like Chop Robinson. I really do not like Chop Robinson. I have so many edges above Chop Robinson. I wouldn't say so many, but a good bit. Is he athletic? No doubt. I've always been a power over athleticism person when it comes to edge. That's why I like Jared Verse better and Leatu Latu over Dallas Turner, because Dallas Turner is very athletic, but he doesn't quite show me the power that I like with Verse and Latu. Yeah, Chop is somebody that if he does end up being good, I really see it being a couple seasons, probably junior season, like third year in, then he's doing something. If the Lions think that they can develop with someone, which honestly I think that the Lions could develop him, have him as a DPR, designated pass rusher, for the first couple seasons, he might be able to do something. And I do kind of like having him on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. So that's not a terrible pick, but it's not what I would do. 30, the Ravens. I'm going to stick with them taking Keon Coleman. I think they need to get someone like a Mike Evans who can go up and get it. He did not test well. He didn't. But, I still like Keon Coleman a lot. But there's a reason why he fell. I agree with him falling. But I loved his tape. He's very impressive. Makes some very flashy plays. I would love him for the Ravens. You have somebody speedy like Zay Flowers, and then you have someone that you can throw the ball up to like Keon Coleman. I think that's perfect for Lamar and that offense. 31, Amarius Mims falls all the way to the 49ers. There's no doubt you take him. It's so like the offensive line. The 49ers need to go offensive line. If they don't go offensive line this year, I'm going to lose faith in their drafting, honestly, because they've got some good later round picks, but for the past couple of years, their earlier picks have been rough. They need to go offensive line. 32, yeah, Xavier Worthy. I'm not as high on him. He's got game-breaking speed, game-breaking, no doubt about that. Besides that, I don't know how I feel about him. His tape wasn't overly impressive, other than the fact of him being a deep threat or him being that fast. So that's kind of where I lie with that. But, Chiefs, Rashee Rice situation going on. There's a big chance that he gets suspended at least for a while or has jail time. It's kind of a big deal. You already have Marquise Brown, but Xavier Worthy have two speedsters. It'd be hard for defenses to keep up with. Yeah, I like that. So that is going to be it. I'm so happy I made it under 25 minutes. That's been a goal of mine. So we're wrapping them up a little bit quicker. But yeah, guys, like I said earlier on, if you guys do enjoy this, please hit the subscribe button, hit a like, give me a comment. I know this one was a little bit different. I wanted to make it a little bit different for you guys. You guys let me know how I did, what you guys think will happen in the draft, who's your favorite team, whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm happy to talk about in the comments. But y'all take it easy, and God bless.